Hello, and thank you for joining me. Welcome to our meditation. My name is Debra Baker, and I'm so delighted that you have joined me today. I hope that the wind allows us to have this meditation without, being too loud and interrupting my voice. Let's begin with our 3 nice deep breaths. And I wish you were here with me so you could smell the peonies behind me. They are just divine, just wonderful. They smell wonderful. So this time I want you to breathe, or I invite you to breathe all the way down into your tailbone, into your pelvic floor. And then allow the breath to slowly release. And then one more time. Doesn't that feel wonderful? And now I invite you to let go of the day so far and let go of the day going forward. Let's just be present in this moment for the next 18 or 19 minutes. So I'm sorry that it's just me today, no guest introducer, although you'll probably see Daisy in the background. And that tick that just landed on my foot, which is why I had to pause the video. So today we're going to meditate on staying in our lane, letting go, letting God. So let's begin by relaxing our bodies, doing the tense and release method. So tense your feet up, curl your toes under and just tense whatever muscles you want to in your feet for just a second. Hold your breath and then let it go. And notice how wonderful that feels. And then tense up the muscles in your in your lower legs. So whether you want to pull your toes up first toward your knees and tense your shins up, and then let it go, and then point your toes so that you're tensing up your calves, and then let it go. And then take your legs and press them together so that you can, sorry, seeing that tick on my foot kind of freaked me out a little. I keep feeling every little breeze as a tick on my foot. So allow your legs to feel that tension and release, and then tighten up all the muscles in your upper legs. So tighten up your quads, your hamstrings, and try to tighten up as much of the musculature in your legs, the upper legs, as you can. Hold it for a second, and then let it go. As you hear the wind chimes and the wind behind me, and I tried to choose a place in my backyard where the wind wouldn't be whistling on the microphone. Just imagine that wind blowing away what no longer serves you, blowing out the cobwebs, blowing the dust away. And now let's allow that relaxation to move up to our pelvic floor, all the muscles you're sitting on, all around your sit bones and your tailbone. Just draw that in tightly for a second. Deep breath, and then let it go. And then the muscles in your lower back, all around your pelvic girdle. Pull that all in. And let it go. Now your midsection, imagine that somebody's kind of tightening a belt around your midsection. Tighten it, except it's you tightening that belt around your midsection. And let it go. And now let's do our upper back. So pull your shoulder blades together. Squeeze them like you're squeezing a pencil between your shoulder blades. Maybe bring them up a little too. Deep breath and let it go. And then hug yourself. So pull all those muscles. So this way you get to do your hands and your arms and your upper chest. Just pull it in tightly, squeeze it, and then let it go. Okay. Now let's do our neck in 4 stages. So bring your chin to your chest and squeeze something imaginary right here. And then let it go. And then tilt your head back and squeeze those muscles in the back of your neck, but do it gently. And your ear to your shoulder on one side, tighten it up, and then let it release. And your ear to your shoulder on the other side, tighten it up and let it release. Oh, doesn't that feel wonderful? And then imagine like squeezing your head. You use it, tensing up all the muscles in your head and your face. Like you've just eaten a bite of lemon. Pull your lips back into your teeth. That's it. It does it. Oh, doesn't that feel good? So I was kind of surprised to hear the topic for today's meditation, and yet it is so relevant today. So it's about, I said it's about staying in your lane. What it's about is doing your own work, living your own life, and letting others live theirs. And I remember years ago someone asked me after a meditation about an employee that she was trying to figure out what to do for. And I tuned into Spirit for a moment, and the message I got was, let her fail. That without letting her fail, without letting her experience the consequences of her actions, she wasn't learning. She wasn't experiencing the consequences of her reaction. And, you know, we are kind-hearted people. We are loving people who don't want to see anyone suffer. And so when we see someone who's suffering and we have an idea because we've been down that road before, Daisy climbing out of the daylilies, we want to help them. We want to make a suggestion. You know, when I went down that road, this is what I did, and it helped a lot. We have a son getting married in a little over a week, and I made some suggestions to him, and I was very careful about how I worded them. So I feel like the message we're getting today is not don't ever make any suggestions or don't try to help people. It's be very mindful of how you do it. So what I shared with him was, this was my experience. I asked him first if he wanted the information, and that is so important. Before you are inclined to offer your wisdom, I strongly suggest you ask. I have some thoughts on that matter. Would you like to hear them? And then if they say no, we honor that. I go, okay, you want to make your own mistakes, or you want to experience the consequences of your actions, and you don't have to say that, but it's lovely to honor that people are allowed to do things differently than we do. So we honor that, but when I made the suggestion for my son, I said, this was my experience, and these were the unwanted consequences of the choice that we made. And then I made a different choice, actually, in my second wedding, and it worked out so much better. And I said, I just compared and contrasted the two things, and said, this is my experience. Do with it what you want. And that's really different from saying you should do this and you should do that. And, well, if I were you, I'd do this, and this is the right way. I have found that I have so much more peace when I don't allow the words right and wrong to enter into my thoughts or my vocabulary. So I was talking to some friends last week about um, giving criticism and receiving criticism. And someone said, if I'm sitting there being critical of someone, even if I don't say the words out loud, if I'm thinking critical thoughts, it steals my serenity. And those were really good words, for me to hear, because I was kind of in a funk. I had had a lot on my plate the week before. And, and that's why I encourage you to give yourself some grace. There is an acronym in 12-step programs, which is HALT, which the HALT stands for hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And it's very helpful to check in with yourself and say, wait a minute, if I'm having a lot of negative thoughts, let me step back here. Am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? And if I answer yes to even one of those, it's time for some grace. So let's take a moment to allow ourselves to give ourselves some grace. The bird liked that idea. To me, grace looks like cutting yourself some slack, not beating yourself up, building yourself up, giving yourself credit for what you've been doing, what you try to do, all the effort that you make. Unlike school, in life, effort counts. And how does it count? By your giving yourself credit for it, and not waiting for someone else to give you credit. And one of the wonderful things about giving yourself grace and allowing other people to live their own lives is that it gives you more time and space and energy to live your own life, to experience your own joy and wonder. Let's take a moment and think about what kind thing you are going to do for yourself today. And if you're listening to this as you're going to sleep, then tomorrow. What kindness are you going to bless upon yourself? And I strongly suggest it's not, I'm going to give something to someone else because that makes me feel happy. Sometimes that is also a trick in deceiving ourselves, that we're taking care of ourselves by reframing it. Your heart and your soul know whether you are giving yourself grace, whether you are cutting yourself some slack. When you let go of feeling responsible for the world, it gives you a little more time and space to feel responsible for your own joy, your own peace, your own serenity. I truly wish you all the joy, all the peace, all the serenity that your heart can hold. Relax for a moment and imagine your heart just taking in joy. Your heart has turned itself into a smiley face. And then noticing your heart filling with peace, relaxing, letting go some more. And then letting your heart fill with love, infinite unconditional love, and knowing that the infinite presence is sourcing you in every moment. You are one with the infinite. And so God is as near as your breath, as your heartbeat. And when we are having human experiences, we feel separated from God because we are in human bodies that give us this sense of separation. Spiritually, we are one with God always. So I invite you to just know your oneness, feel the oneness, and honor yourself. Another nice deep breath. And I invite you to commit to yourself, whatever it was, the idea that came to you, how are you going to give yourself some joy today or tomorrow morning if it's late at night or even in the evening. I invite you to commit to that and send me a message and let me know how you brought yourself joy. I intend to do some sewing this week and doing some preparation for the wedding, meaning getting my house ready for guests. But still, it's that sense of anticipation that we talked about last week. So one more nice deep breath, and know that the infinite presence in me honors, loves, recognizes the infinite presence in you. I see you, and you are beautiful and whole and perfect exactly as you are. Namaste.